Hello, welcome. Marlene here. We're working on Easter cookies today. Stay tuned for the step-by-step tutorial. I've rolled my chocolate cookie dough with the thinnest guides from the Dough Easy rolling mat, and now I'm using a piece of saran wrap to cut my bunny heads. I want them to have a nice kind of domed shape. I don't want them to be flat. So I'm just going to do a few of those. Now because it's thin, they'll be more fragile than normal, so I'm just going to pick up the whole parchment paper instead of trying to pick them off. I'm just going to warp them if I do that. The saran wrap actually ripped from being used, so I'm just taking another piece there. And we're just going to get through the whole bunch of them. There we go. And now, if you want, you can take off the outside dough if you want to reuse that. But the rest is going in the freezer so that we can handle them without them getting messed up. If you can tell, but they're really much more kind of round and nice because of this process. All right, into the freezer. Here is the chocolate cookie dough rolled once again, but this time with the thicker guide. And now we're going to be cutting some of the eggs. I think I'm going to repeat with the saran wrap just to get a nice edge. Since we're not doing decorated with icing, we're just, okay, so there we go. And this really makes a nicer kind of beveled edge on the side of the cookie. I'm going to take the Easter egg that's a bit smaller just to create some guidelines, and I'm just gently pushing that in to give myself a guideline. And that's all. I'm not pressing hard. Alright, here's my magic concoction. It looks like an absolute mess, but I have to say it surprised me how well it works. So what do we have here? An egg white, a little splash of water, and some white Wilton food gel. Theirs is by far the most white that I've ever kind of worked with, but this is the most white product. And now I've whipped all that together, and now I'm going to move my cookies into frame. Here are my chocolate cookies on a piece of parchment paper. As funny as it could seem, the white is quite strong, a little bit like black, but not. It does stain and tend to leave a residue, so work on parchment paper. And now I have a silicone paintbrush. I think this is an important part of the process because of how these little kind of pieces of silicone stay separate. They're not like a paintbrush where the pieces kind of meld together. And now I'm just simply dipping this into my egg wash, my white egg wash, and I'm just brushing that onto the surface of my cookies. Now, it's important to go in the same direction. If you're going all which ways, it's going to look messy. So I'm going kind of like that, and repeat on all the eggs here. Try to get along the side. So these are raw cookies. There we go. This one here, maybe I'll add a bit more on this one. Okay, so now I've got egg on my cookie. So the perfect thing to glue another cookie on top. I'm going to grab an offset spatula, and I'm picking up one of my bunny heads that I created before, like so. And I'm just going to drop that on the surface of my egg wash, just like that. Try to make sure you don't get any of the white on this new cookie that you're adding. You want this to be nice, deep brown. The under has got the wash, and the top has to be nice and deep in color. There you go. I found that since they're so frozen, you can handle them. Last one here. There. Now we're going to pop these in the freezer just so that the base cookie can chill. All right, for the sake of this experiment, we're going to do the reverse. This time we're going to do an egg wash on the little bunnies. We're going to place them on the egg. I'm going to pop them in the freezer because they're still very soft. These cookies have been in the freezer for a little bit just so that I can handle the bunny. I don't want to get any of the egg wash on, you see? You see that? That's what I didn't want. Let's wipe off the cookie if we can. Best we can there. All right. I'm going to put it on a paper towel to see if there's any residue. All right, let's do that again. There. Pick up this one. I'm going to drop it on a paper towel before, wipe my palette knife, pick it up again, and then position onto the cookie. You try, this one here has a ton of egg wash on the back, this third one. So I'm just going to gently place that. And let's see how this bakes. Here are my Crackle cookies baked. They all come out a little bit different. Some of the dark lines are a result of the brush strokes and some are actual cracking. I really like how they turned out. Here are the cookies we're working on. I really love the simplicity of these and how the children can be involved and participate in the decorating. So I'm working in a bead tray. I've got my cookie in the bead tray here, and I've got some brown icing, only one color. And I guess you could do this with melted chocolate if you wanted. I don't work with melted chocolate often, but I would presume the sprinkles would stick. They did stick when I was making my cake pops. And so now I'm just creating a twig wreath, and you want the lines to kind of cross over, look like they're all kind of intertwined. There we go. And now I'm just lightly sprinkling the colored nopare onto these twigs. We want them to stick, but we don't want them to coat completely. You want to be able to see the twigs. They're part of the decor. Okay. And now I'm taking a few of my little bunnies and pressing that into the wet icing. And then the little carrots, they really add a little cuteness, and the color is great. It's a bit of a different pop of color. There we go. And there are the completed Easter cookies. Let's shake off the rest of our little there. So if you want, you can add eyes and all that, but I don't find that it's necessary. This is, you know, rustic we're going for. Here is take 2 of our bunny cookies. This here, I didn't think it would look nice with a brown wreath, and so I'm working in green icing. And it's exactly the same thing though. I'm just doing kind of like twig look around. You don't want the lines to pile up. You want them kind of like that, random branchy looking. This is a really great project because there's, you know, no need for it to look perfect. Now once that's done, we sprinkle these wet lines with the little pastel colored nopales. And we don't want to coat these lines, we just want a few accents. Remove the excess. And now I have my flowers here, and I'm just dropping them onto my wet wreath. And if you want, right here where his little paw is, you can add a dab of icing and get a little carrot. And place that right there. Now, to finish this off, I'm just adding a few little leaves, and it's just tear shapes that I'm pulling around the flowers. You can rotate your cookie to position them. Let me know in the comments which of the two cookies you like best. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Here are some of my past Easter tutorials. If you'd like to check these out, simply touch the screen, or you'll find the links in the description box. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos.